Now I'm going to tell you a story that is not so pleasing. Well, depending of your if you have a twisted perspective, I don't know. Well, a Konami employee hit his ex boss, sorry, in the head with a fire extinguisher. We can condone violence, but we do condone getting even. So fitting having Venom Snake here. A 40-year-old Konami employee has been arrested for attempted Minecrafting in Japan after hitting his 48-year-old Xbox in the back of the head with a fire extinguisher. Permanent via Genki and Siliconera translation. The Konami employee hit his former boss with the fire extinguisher at the office out of frustration with power harassment. Yeah, power harassment has been a thing for a very long time in jobs. It happens around the whole world. It's when you have someone in your workplace when you have some position of power, but hey, at least in the West, you can actually tell him to fuck off, touch grass, suck my cock, lot of things. But the thing with Japan is how much domesticated, how much indoctrinated, and well, much of the time their balls are cut off because they took politeness to a very insane, humane degree. They are going to abuse it. Someone in position of power, of course, that's going to exploit it, and then you have this situation where one is Konami. It's a very shit place. I'm going to explain you show why is that. The second one, employees there in Japan, they have to do the pyramidal scheme and just escalate. And if, if you are looking at the bad eyes of someone, you get outcasted so easily. So yeah, it's a double-edged sword for them if they treat them just like in the West. So it's very complicated for them. And he apparently did intend to kill, well, Minecraft, his boss. However, other employees restrained him, and the injured party went to the hospital where he will recover. Employees having loyalty for bosses in Konami? Well, in Japan, power harassment essentially consists of using authority to bully employees. Yeah, it is. And it's a know of a problem that legislation was passed in the last few years to combat it. Wow, let's check that out later. The attacking Konami employee has apparently yet to tell the authorities the way of his former boss exerted power harassment over him, but he had gone to Konami HR in the past to report the problem. Yeah, that's the problem. Human resources are just to protect the company, not the employee. And even in the West, HR is the problem of these companies going woke. So yeah, it's never been a good place. Well, at least I know in some cases where it actually works, but it's very rare. However, Konami ultimately directed that there was a problem but opted in 2020 to send the employee to a new team where he would not answer to that boss anymore. So this is a messy situation where it seems potentially several people behaved badly. As a general rule, you shouldn't try to Minecraft someone with a fire extinguisher, even if it's the company that made Metal Gear survive. That's a joke. Yeah, this game is so dog shit. You also shouldn't allegedly use your authority to make other people feel lesser. Well, and it's true with that. Communication is the answer. The problem is they don't have this. They don't have communication like in the West. So, where, well, before wokeness in the early 2000s, they don't have that kind of communication. They never had it in the first place. Well, I'm going to show you why I don't feel sympathy with Konami because this is from the 2017. Konami reported backlisting employees across Japanese video games industry. Dude, Konami has a long fucking history of mistreating employees to win to the point to harass them out of the company and when they are officially out. No, making this up. This is a well-known behavior from Konami after the whole thing with Hideo Kojima and Metal Gear Solid 5 happened. So I'm going to review now this. So if you leave the company, you cannot rely on Konami's name to now a job. And that's true because I remember on this article, I'm going to review this part. The video game giant behind Metal Gear Solid series, yeah, we know that, has been in some sort of shift over the last 2 years. It's a transition from a console-focused component to a mobile-focused one. Yeah, the grid just like EA, but at least EA can still make some games for consoles. Konami? Silent Hill. Oh man, that really hurts. Silent Hill is one of my favorite video games, but fuck, how they mistreated. I pre-ordered it and regret the shit out of it for the rest of my life, and regretting it the fuck out of it. So the Japanese newspaper wrote 2 months ago an unnamed Kojima Productions executive applied for Kojima to join ITS Kempo, a health insurance company that focuses on the gaming industry. That application was denied apparently because the chair of that company board, Kimihiko Higashio, is also a board member at the company. They have a lot of board members. It's like they operate just like a cult, at least for Konami, when it comes to funding jobs. When they take employees inside their buildings, they put them in a lot of surveillance. I don't know if this article has that stories I want to explain at least. Look, one of ex-con described his surprise at learning that Konami had instructed an employee at the television company to not deal with his former employees. In another case, a former Konami executive was forced to close his business due to pressure from the gaming giant. So he wanted to make his own, and he got shut down by Konami because they have this so deranged mentality that if someone at least working in doing some coding, they have a lot of ideas and they don't want those ideas to go away. They prefer extinguish it even if they are not involved. They are like yakuzas. Well, they're behaving like ones, and I don't doubt there is some of them there, even if Yakuza is something big, no, big nowadays. Ex-cons are not allowed to put their economic experience on their public resumes. If you leave the company, you cannot rely on Konami's name to land a job. Explain it a former employee. If an ex-con is interviewed by the media, the company will send that person a letter to a legal representative. In some cases, indicated that Konami is willing to take them to court. So this article doesn't cover. I remember another story where an developer got got taken away from his positions to work as a security guard, and I'm not making that up. They force employees to use phones inside that company that they're always hearing you, just like Big Brother is watching you. Konami is a very fucking dog shit company. Honestly, The I'm surprised the only reason they are alive is because of the pachinko machines and then the mobile game with Yu-Gi-Oh. Honestly, I just would prefer if Japan shut that place out because there's a lot of human violations there. But well, in Japan, they have to sort things out themselves and not being intervened. Oh, I see, that employee, I just imagine that they just he failed and then just game over. Ten 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 ten. Oh man, that's so horrible. But that's the way it is when it comes to to Japan. So that's pretty much everything. I hope you have a great